You got it.
Hi, everyone. This is Liz with the Barletta team at Ligris, and I am here with none other than the Jamie Cammarata from Keller Williams. She is the most incredible team leader, inspirational human being that I've known for so many years now, which is insane. So, just Jamie, if you want to say hi and a little intro about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for having me as a guest and the lovely intro. I can't believe that we've known each other. I think I've been at Keller Williams for maybe 12 years. So definitely 10 years for you
At
and me.
least, yeah.
Yeah. So I got into real estate in 2009. Before that, I was a school teacher, stay-at-home mom, all that fun stuff, and raising my kids. And then I got into real estate and started at an independent company. And then I went to a dependent company, which we'll probably talk about later. And then I found myself at Keller Williams as the team leader, and I've been a team leader now for 10 plus years.
It's incredible. It's incredible. So there was a other networking gal who was like really into networking like me. We were having coffee one day and she's like, "Do you know Jamie?" And I'm like, "No, tell me about this Jamie." And she's like, "You need to meet Jamie." And like the rest is history. I still remember Panera and Andover.
Oh
I
my
like
God.
I was like tingling at the end of the conversation.
I remember this. Oh my gosh.
I know.
That's another person introduced us and we magically just hit. It was the glasses, it was the color of the hair at the
Yes,
time, it was all of it. So yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Like energy attracts like energy. So
It's true. Absolutely. So speaking of that, I feel like that is a perfect kind of segue because I kind of wanted to talk about a couple of different things because you are a very unique person in that you are incredibly successful in leading an incredible group of people too. And it's for me not kind of knowing where I was eventually going to make my way in real estate law. Meeting you was really a game changer for me because you encouraged me to really get involved with something called Bold, which is a Keller Williams program. But besides that, just you always think outside of the box. And it's no surprise that you're such a successful team leader because people are attracted to come and work with you. So just wanted to kind of talk about that, like what brought you into team leading, why Keller Williams and kind of that aspect.
okay. All right. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yes. So build a life by design. I loved your energy. And I feel like that program is all about who you are and mindset. It doesn't matter what company you're from. I feel like everyone should take that program. I have attracted a lot of people that are not even real estate agents to the program because it's about mindset and thinking about you and asking you, like, what do you want in life? What do you deserve? Not for your family, not for your parents and childhood stuff, like what is it that you really want and what's the roadmap on how to get there without all of your excuses, I guess. So Keller Williams, how did I get here? I mean, I think naturally my whole life I've found myself maybe in leadership positions.
Mhm.
In college, I was on Black and Gold at Framingham University, where we welcomed the new freshmen in and
I
gave
didn't
some.
know that. I was an orientation leader at BC. So obviously this is like makes more sense now. Okay.
I know. Doesn't it make more
That's
sense?
so
So,
cool.
I just love people. Like I do. I love people. And so I started there. And then when I got into real estate, I have to be honest, I never saw myself in real estate. I don't like salespeople. I feel like they're pushy. I feel whatever I had in my head. And somebody inspired me to look at it very differently. And it's more of a relationship skill and it's about authenticity and helping people sell their home to another person that's trying to buy a home. And so it's a process and it's people skills. And so at the time of us opening our first restaurant in Andover, I was like, hey, let's have a baby on August 27th, open up a restaurant on October 17th, and get that real estate license on Thanksgiving weekend.
Which doesn't surprise me because you're a yes person. So you're like, yeah, pile it on. Let's do
I'm
this.
like, let's see, let's keep juggling and see
Yeah.
which one breaks. Um, and so I'm so glad that I honestly got my real estate license and I started that path. When I found Keller Williams, it was another person very much like us, Liz. Her name is Marianne Arini, who was the team leader for Andover back in the day. And I just loved her. And everyone called her mama. I think that's where I get it from. And she just really wanted people to succeed. And back then, it wasn't about companies recruiting. It
Right.
was about loving on your agents and pouring in the value that they possibly could need to grow their business as entrepreneurial people and independent contractors.
Yeah.
And so I just loved all of that. So she took me to an event because that's how it works.
Yeah.
And you go to a networking event in Austin
Yeah.
and called Mega Camp, and I just fell in love with the company. I will say, the 10 years of being a team leader, I've learned so much. The first couple of years, it was like riding a bike. There were a
Yeah.
lot of tears. It was very hard, and leadership is lonely. And so when you're trying to go up the ladder of success, it's unfortunate, but your time becomes more purposeful. Your friend circle becomes more purposeful. And, you know, based on your goals and what you want, if you really are a self learner and you're open to coaching, it's an amazing experience, but you have to trust the process. And so I've definitely grown over the last 10 years, and I absolutely love being in leadership and for people to lean in on my experience. And if I don't have it, because I don't have all the answers, then I would love to introduce you to people. And that's the thing. I'm
The
like, hey,
networking.
here's an
Yeah.
attorney, here's a lender, here's another real estate agent, here's this. So
That's
that's
awesome. And so I feel like one of the things that, especially new agents, because obviously you're interacting with people who are brand new, like haven't even sat for their license course. And then
mine.
you're also talking to agents who've been in the game for a while. So
Mhm.
both of those are challenging because one doesn't know anything, but it's an opportunity to kind of show them the right way. And then you have the other hand, which are the agents who've come from somewhere else that have bad habits. So
Yeah.
how do you balance that in a day?
That's a great question. So I think I learned how to do both. I think, like in business, you should learn how to do everything first, and then you should be able to leverage it to another person so that you can continue. So the newer agents, sometimes I meet with them. Other times, my assistant team leader Ashley will meet with them.
Mhm.
She's really great at that. And so you're right; they don't know what they don't know, so
Right.
they're very excited. And that's a process. It's a little bit, it's a different hand holding process of excitement and a ton of questions.
Yeah.
Whereas the experienced agent, you know, not necessarily is it really bad habits, it's just understanding what their purpose is now and do they want more time or money.
Mhm.
And it's like a coaching opportunity to help them understand that a lot of people that got in real estate, they didn't get into a business to be business owners, to be honest.
Right.
A lot of people
Yeah.
that get their real estate license looks at it like, oh, if I sell a house, I make, thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, yay.
Yeah.
And some people just have that entrepreneurial spirit to take it to the next level, but there's no one around them or at their company to help them grow to achieve that goal to go from entrepreneurial to purposeful.
Yeah.
And so I love those conversations because sometimes it's about dollars and cents, but sometimes it's about the value proposition and making them and helping them work on their business because
Right.
they're so busy every day working in their business.
That's cute. And I feel like that's something that, Bold helped me with is like hyper focusing yourself on what you want in your life. What are your personal and business goals? And being able to figure out how to get to that point versus doing all the things. And you're like, but wait, what am I doing this for? Um,
80-20 rule, that 80-20 rule.
it's true. It's true.
It is.
And so I think that a lot of agents at least ask me. So obviously, we're working with agents every day from different companies, and one of the things that I feel like is kind of a universal truth amongst all different agents when you get to a certain level, it's like, how do I break through to the next level?
Right.
So what would you say is sort of the way for those agents to kind of get? I mean, obviously that's a very general question because there's so many personalities in there, but like on a general sense, what do you think is at least the first starting point for that?
I think it's trusting somebody to ask them questions and for them to be true to the answers that they're seeking. Most of the time, it's themselves. Like when we
Yeah.
wake up in the morning and we look ourselves in the mirror, like it's ourselves. We self sabotage ourselves naturally. to be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you realize it. And we like to put ourselves in what I call the gerbil wheel of life. And you just spin and spin and spin because maybe you haven't been exposed or taught the leverage points, books that could help you, goal priority strategy worksheets to help you achieve that time blocking. It seems so um, simple, right? But
Simple,
it's
not
a lot of
easy.
hard work. Yeah, exactly. It's not easy. It's a lot of work. And so, for an agent who really wants to go from here to here, they have to be honest with themselves. They have to be focused, and they're going to have to do some things that make them very uncomfortable to retrain themselves to a new norm of comfortableness.
Yeah.
And so I love that process, whether they're like a new agent or an experienced agent, because everyone should be growing every day.
Yeah.
Like, what do they say? Like, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah.
You're not dying today, okay?
Right.
So I just feel like, if you have that entrepreneurial spirit and you're a business owner, then you 100% should be growing however possible.
Absolutely. And so you kind of touched on like a book. So if, again, looking at the two different people that you talk to on a daily basis, the experienced and like the new, what would be your like the book that a new agent should read, and what would be a book that an experienced agent maybe coming into a different cultural shift of a company that you would recommend?
Listen, the standard, I guess I could say start with the MREA, right? The Millionaire
Mhm.
Real Estate book. But I also think genuinely there's a great book called Go for No.
Okay.
Everyone who's in sales should read it. It's very thin. And we
I
have
like
trained
that.
ourselves to hate the word no. So if you think about it, when you're younger and you see those kids like in a grocery store and they're like, "Mom, can I get the cookies?" And she's like, "No." And she's, "Please, can I get the cookies?" And then like on aisle 5, you're trying to mind your business and get out of the grocery store and you see the kid eating the cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And so for how many no's did that child receive before he got a yes? And during adolescence to a certain age, no is actually acceptable. And then somewhere it's a rejection.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Crazy. And so I
Yeah.
think everyone should read that book, because if you go for the no, you're already at no in anything
Right.
you want and do. So go for the no to get the yes. So I think everyone should definitely read that book, and MREA. Anything John Maxwell in terms of leadership, I absolutely love. So I would do that. And for more advanced readers, the new book that I'm reading is 10X is Better Than 2X, which is a really great book.
Okay.
And I think it depends on what someone needs. If you're looking for wealth building, pick a wealth building book. If you're looking for leadership, hit the John Maxwell. If you're looking for growth, I mean, the MREA is about listings, leads, and leverage. And a real estate agent and attorney and a
Mhm.
lender, our biggest problem is leveraging and finding the
Absolutely.
right people to leverage what, for some reason, our makeup as entrepreneurial people, we think we can do all of it
Mhm.
because we've started a business. So we're like, oh, we can be the transaction coordinator, the list agent, the buyer agent, the put the signs in, the marketing person. I like to take photos. Let me do photos.
Yeah.
And that jack of all trades stops at some point. Going back to your question about when you want to get purposeful about your business, you need to look at it, work on it, and say, I need to leverage to a transaction coordinator for this. And I need to leverage this for that. And don't think about the money, but understand that that process will allow you to get your time back to do what you do best, which is sales.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, I think it's one of those things, going back to even like looking at the mirror and like look at yourself and your process in your day. Like, so for me, I had this experience where I never thought leveraging was possible as an attorney. It's different. But again, like these classes and this networking and talking to people like you made me see that this is something that's only going to help me grow. But it's also focused on the client, because if you think about it, we're only capable of so much in a day. And
Right.
especially family and all the other things that like pull at us every day, at some point when you're doing all those things, something's going to drop. A ball's going to drop. You're going to forget a date. You're going to forget, the things that got you all that business, which are like, the client focused aspects. When you're doing all the things, you can't focus on those little minute details that really make you stand out. So I feel like that is such huge advice, because it's not even just about making more money. It's about being able to fine tune the process to be able to do more volume, but at the same level that you were taking care of those people initially.
Right. So it's systems.
Yeah, yeah,
System. And I think and I love how you said that, like you were just an individual attorney when I first met you, and now you have a team.
yeah,
And so you're right. It's very different for a lender or an attorney, for anybody. But at the same time, if you have systems, that's the big problem with agents. A lot of them don't have systems. It lives in their head. And
right.
that's why they think, no, I got it. I can do it. I can do it. And it's because they haven't taken that time to create systems so that if you did find that rock star person who's going to be your director of operations or transaction coordinator, then you're teeing them up for success too, because they want to perform. They
Right.
want to do a good job for you, and shame on them that they can't because it lives in your head and you're kind of like, oh, where's this? I didn't teach you that. Like, I got to go. And
Yeah.
so I would say right now with the market for 2024, it used to be a speed market and now it's a smart market. So get back to foundation, get back to basics. And if you haven't strategized systems,
Yeah.
put some time into it now, because whatever goes down must come up. So
100%. And is there some like a specific, program or like strategy guide that's in order to like kind of dig down on what systems like the best for you? Like what do you guys use that you really like maybe?
I mean, in terms of like online systems and CRMs and stuff, again, it's shocking to me when I meet existing agents. We'll talk about them for a minute, because new agents don't know what they don't know. So when I
Right.
tell them to do this, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Existing agents have their way of doing things.
Hmm.
So to introduce them to technology seems to be a hiccup sometimes,
Right.
because they resist a lot of it. So having a CRM platform that's yours is a huge thing. And, there are companies that purchase CRM platforms. Our company built a CRM platform. You want to just make sure that your data is your data and it's not getting sold. Okay. Because every lead that's out there is worth about $30. And a lot of real estate agents right now, they're looking for leads, especially the ones that come into the industry. They're like, what are you going to do for me? Are you going to give me
Right.
leads? And it's like, well, if $30 is the average for a lead that you don't know is pre-qualified, but comes into some algorithm database that got entered into some platform that you're paying monthly for, and it's your job to try to get in touch with them, hope that their phone number and email is correct, but they promise you this $30 lead. If you looked in your phone and looked at all your contacts and timed that by $30, and then you times that by 3 years, because within 3 years, there should be a referral or something within your directory.
Right.
That is where the database is.
Right.
And so it's really restructuring and teaching people that the systems that you use need to be something that's organized for you. I can't say there's the best platform. I just know that you need to strategize and schedule it to like
Just
what
using it, using the opportunities that
yeah,
yeah.
just you like,
Just
yeah,
use
and
it.
pick one. Don't be
Yeah.
overwhelmed. Like, get off
Yeah.
TikTok, okay?
Yeah.
Get off. I'm just saying that to myself, by the way.
I know. Me too.
Like everyone has an awesome idea of like what's happening right now. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, artificial intelligence, like right now, let's use AI, ChatGPT, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, what, only use that if it works. But don't forget about this is a belly to belly relationship business. And if you're not out there, which we were just talking about earlier, if you're not out there introducing yourself, having conversations, and not being a secret agent and saying, by the way, I can help you sell, invest, rent, whatever it is, buy. And if you're not directly telling people, then sorry, your database is going to go away and artificial intelligence is going to take it.
Right.
And leads will be in there because nobody is nurturing the actual human. So,
Right. No, absolutely. And that's where, people talk, oh, and the industry is going to be going away to like an AI and like everything's going to be on. It's like, this is, people want, so one of the things that I always tell like the team, email's great, texting is great, but there's nothing that replicates a phone call to the other
right,
side when we're trying to get what we want on a contract or to our clients to explain something. Like that interaction with the voice and in person cannot
right.
be taken away. Like, but people kind of what you were talking about before, like we're kind of hidden in a tent, like you just don't want to, be out there, but that's what's going to win. That's what's going to win the relationship.
I 100% agree. And it's this generation of, the phone and being down like this. And I say to my kids, like, Tucker, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm seeing if Dane's available later to get together. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there's FaceTime, call him, this. They just don't have that. I don't know
Yeah.
why they just don't. But here with real estate agents, yes. If you want to be in the industry the next 20 years, let's just look at that.
Yeah.
Yes, then the more relationships you have and that human touch will go a long way. There's still a gap where people don't, or they're skeptical about the computer and calling. I know that if it says spam, I'm not answering it.
Right.
I know if there's a delay when I answer a call that just comes up a number that doesn't say spam and there's a good 5-second delay, I'm already hanging up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's how I am. So we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. And it's so funny because, like, even just from a perspective of attorneys, like in my old firm, we tracked our transactions by Excel spreadsheet and our Outlook calendar. Like, how can you do volume in that way? You can't. So then transitioning to Salesforce, which is so robust and like just everything about it, it just, I mean, just that alone, being a solo attorney with that tool alone helped me achieve more than I ever anticipated, and then gave me the opportunity to do a team. So it's
A
the
leverage
system is
point.
huge. Yeah.
It's a leverage point, and our CRM platform that we have here is actually unbelievable if you take the time to learn it. But if your contacts are all in one place, you can have a QR code at an open house that's scanned, and that contact automatically goes into your database. You've already set a thank you email coming to the open house that's pre-templated, that's supposed to launch at 4 o'clock. Your open house is say from 1 to 3. You don't even have to think about that email because it's already been done. There's so many
That's
things that
amazing.
are amazing leverage points to increase more business over here
Yeah.
while using technology.
Right. Right. And that's something that, again, I feel like the hard part for a lot of agents is it, I mean, and even anyone else in the industry, it takes time to set yourself up. Like, you don't learn it overnight. Those contacts don't get it, in there just like miraculously, or well, besides if the QR code, then it's like then it's
That
magic.
one's actually pretty
That's
fast.
kind of magic, but
But
other than
building a
that,
database, yeah,
right.
building a database is hard. You're right. It's not going to happen right away, and you're not going to just jump into real estate most likely. And all these people want to sell,
Yeah.
but they also don't know that you can help them achieve that
Yeah.
goal. So, but yes, not everything is instant. It is
No.
gradually and then suddenly, my friends.
Which I love. I love. And it's also, I feel like putting things out there. I'm a very like, again, goal setting and putting yourself out there in the universe and all those beautiful things. Like, I feel like it's energy, it's what you are putting out there that you want back. And also not giving up on that. Cause obviously it's just not going to be like, ooh, I would like to have 200 whatever closings in this amount of time. And then just expecting like the next day it's going to happen. It takes time. Don't give
You
up.
have to
Right.
put action into your activities, and we're not children, so
Yeah.
it's not like wishful thinking like you just
Yeah.
said. Like, definitely put it out every day and do
Yeah.
affirmations and say, like, I am getting better at my scripts, I'm a great person, I am healthy, I am this, and create that energy around you, because I do believe in that.
Yeah.
But you do have to put the actions in play. It's like a person, it's like losing weight.
Yeah.
That's why all these programs and all these distractions work for people, because it's like, oh, okay, so this gym's only $100. This only does this. This personal trainer's only this. A personal trainer could charge $5 and you could have a ton of clients. But how many clients are actually going to do the work with the personal
Right.
trainer for an hour, then go eat the right way for a week, then come back? It's discipline. And
Yes.
it takes a really long time to create these new habits, but it's worth it. You see it with like successful people that
Yeah.
have their stories, from like Mel Robbins or whoever you're following. Jay
Yeah.
Shetty, I love him. I like adore him, and I love his story. And
I
so
have to look him up. I don't think I know him.
Jay Shetty, so he's just overall just like a guru, but like
Yeah.
he like left like the world of doing stuff and went to be a monk for a while. Yeah,
Whoa.
found like clarity and everything,
Yeah.
and wrote a really great book about love and ways that people need to feel loved and reciprocate. And he's actually really great. And so that would be more of a mindset one,
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
It's not really going to get you $1 million,
Things.
but it will contribute to the mindset.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so if you could say like one thing that someone should do on a daily, like, because it could just be brought down to like a couple of things a day that could really make an impact in your life. What do you think, maybe one or two things that someone should like implement today to see a difference in their life, from the real estate perspective, let's say?
Definitely wake up 10 minutes earlier, start there. Right. So just create small habits, wake up 10 minutes earlier. Read a chapter of one book, just one chapter, or listen to a podcast. Stop listening to the radio and do that. Replace your TikTok time with that. Stay off Facebook. In the morning, get up, give yourself 10 minutes. Those 10 minutes of being on Facebook, by the way, could be very purposeful.
Right.
You don't need to be scrolling and watching what everybody is doing, but if it's about a happy birthday post or an anniversary, it's already set for you.
Right.
Definitely working out or doing something that moves your body. Just little habits like that will change your energy to allow you to move in the game of chess, because that's what it is in real estate. Like checkers, I don't want to play checkers. Like you can go forward, backwards, and I'm like,
my toddler likes checkers because it's simple. It's not simple for a toddler, but it's like simple-ish. You know what you have to be able to navigate way more.
Yeah, exactly. So just be purposeful about your time. Definitely start reading, listen to pods. And if you're in real estate, add new 5 contacts to your database, have 5 conversations, write 5 note cards, call 5 people, text 5 people, remind them that you're in real estate, little things like that.
5, it's so funny because like 5 seems to be, that's always my business goal. I have it. I don't do it, Jamie. I do maybe 1. And I don't know, I can't, but I will now that we're having this conversation.
Wait, you absolutely can. It's a choice.
Yeah.
My dad used to
Totally
say the word is I can't. It's I can or I cannot.
Right.
Like my whole life. And so it is a choice, but again, it's a new habit and it's discipline. Yes. And so just start with 10 minutes, a sticky note. You wake up in the morning, there's a sticky note. It's telling you these things you have to do in the 10 minutes. Everyone has 10 minutes. Do it, Life's too short, by the way. So those purposeful conversations, calls, birthday videos, my kids were going to text my dad yesterday. It was his birthday. And I like almost had a heart attack. And I was like, you all come over to the box.
Yeah.
And then I had to explain it to them and say, Grandpa hearing your voice gives him like a longer time to live.
Yeah.
He lives for that voice. He lives for the laughter. He lives to tell you a joke. Like he needs that. And we've just gotten away from it. So
absolutely. But thankfully, I get to hear your voice right now and see your beautiful face. And like, this has been great because I think that I need more Jamie in my life. And
I need you to move back to Massachusetts.
Yeah. Well, I think that for the most part, people listening today, I think, who don't know you are, now going to know you. And I think that is like the biggest win of this video, because I want people to know how amazing you are. And also it's just, I constantly am like thinking now of all the fun times that we've had, and like with our friends, the agents that I know are in your brain right now that we've had so many fun times with. So it's just awesome to see you, and you are the woman.
Oh, thank you. I think that you're the woman. So we're both the women.
We're the women.
New podcast coming soon.
Yes, I love that. Hey, I'm down. Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for this time. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.